So the next fear is fear of losing. Let's talk about that. So it's often your fear of loss that drives your financial decisions, guys. As a Hallmark study from 1979 on decision making notes, the pain of losing is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure derived from gains. Who would know, right? As a trader, you need to realize that you're in a very competitive field, guys, and losses will be inevitable. You can't avoid them. But even with that awareness, the fear might be lurking in the back of your mind. And even without a losing trade on that day, you might still have the thoughts about what if I lose money? These thoughts are toxic. So what does the fear of losing do to you as a trader? It forces you to make decisions that are not optimal for you, such as selling your winners too early, moving your stop loss higher too quickly. You get into a trade, you're up a little bit and you immediately move your stop loss higher and then you get stopped out and you make $5. Turning your setups into crap or adding to a losing trade, guys, which is super risky because you psychologically want to make your average price lower so you can break even and not lose. So how many of you are doing that, right? That's very common. So, you're looking at the falling stock and you keep buying to lower the average so you don't feel so bad about yourself that the price is so far away from your price, from the current price. And, also when you have a drawdown multiple days or weeks, you're losing, or maybe you have losing year, the fear becomes a giant monster and you don't even want to take trades to lose more money. If you take a trade, you're super nervous, glued to the screen, you're just like really miserable in that moment. And oftentimes it didn't affect your life and you're stressed nonstop. You can't sleep, you're upset at home, make life of your friends and family a hell. Many of you are going through this, and maybe you have read many books on psychology and you sought help of a coach or you talk to professionals about it who are in a trading space. And you rationally understand that you will have losing trades and that you can't avoid it, but none of these rational expectations and explanation work for you. And you still struggle with fear. And the worst part is that the fear is blocking you from success, guys. So why do you think it is? Because fear is one of the strongest emotions. It's stronger than anger, joy, or love. It's a very primal emotion. And since the emotions are far more powerful than our thoughts, fear can overcome even the strongest parts of our brain. Okay, so your brain is basically useless. So when you're losing money in the market or anywhere for that matter, with an investment, it's similar to when our ancestors had to run away from a predator. Your fight or flight kicks in, and you're now acting more based on survival instinct than a rational mind. And when being chased by a predator, your rational mind is truly useless because you're super scared, right? So as I said at the beginning of this webinar, you are scared of things that you don't understand. You're scared of the unknown. So in this case, why don't we make fear our friend? I use this a lot in coaching, and it's a very common technique used in psychotherapy because you can't eliminate fear. It's impossible, but you can analyze it, understand it, and befriend it. And you might think this sounds ridiculous, but imagine, fear is here for what? Fear is here to protect us. And in this case, fear is here to protect your money. So you can make fear your friend, but you need to analyze it. You need to analyze the fear of loss. So there are many reasons why you're having fear of losing. Similar to FOMO, you need to be honest with yourself and try to dig a little deeper, guys, because we're all unique individuals. You can read many books on psychology and fear and psychology of trading, but everyone is unique. Everyone has different life situations. We have different backgrounds. We have different dreams. We are different people. So let me share some examples with you again, so you might find out where your fear is coming from, and have a notepad ready and write down and brainstorm as I'm talking. So what does the word losing mean to you? What does it mean? It's not always about money. As humans, we tend to think about the most obvious and superficial reason first. It's all about money. No, the truth is somewhere deeper, really. Because maybe do you want to prove something to yourself, your friends or family? Maybe you hate your job and your lifestyle and you would love to change it. You would love to be a full-time trader, so you have freedom. Maybe if you have a loss, it means that you're farther from your goal, and maybe you need to win for your status or your ego. Maybe you just need money. I mean, we all need money, but some will have much more pressure around money than the others. So when you take your next trade, please write down how you feel. I want to give you some tips to battle fear, because you can't control the outcome of the trade, but you can control how you feel about the trade. First of all, guys, be nice to yourself, because one losing trade or even one losing week doesn't tell anything about you as a person, about your qualities as a trader. You can't judge your whole trading career where you're going to be taking thousands of trades because of 1 or 2 or 10 trades. The same way you can judge the whole Formula 1 race based on the first lap, right? I'm a fan, by the way. Another tip for you to feel less scared and be more confident is to be in control of your setup. What does it mean? Focus on the quality of execution. Have a stop loss in place, have a limit sell or OCO, one cancels the other order in place. You can set it up on your platform, whoever you're trading with. Please do some research on how to do those. And I do not recommend paper trading for learning how to trade or having learning strategies, because I feel when you paper trade, you don't really have emotions involved. So when you start trading with real money, it's not the same. But I recommend paper trading to actually know how to use your platform quickly and effectively. Okay, so before you start trading, if you're not yet, learn how to use those orders, the sell and buy orders, and make sure you put it on automated order, because that way you don't panic and you don't make rush decisions. Second tip is to not obsessively look at your P&L, and maybe don't even look at your P&L at all. Just look at the chart and see how the stock is moving, and you know, that way you're not going to freak out by the green and the red P&L when you're looking at it. If the trade goes in your favor, take your profits and be thankful and look for another trade. If it goes against you, take your losses, breathe, walk around, and look for another possibility with a clear mind. Do not overtrade, guys. Very important. Do not revenge trade. If you lost once, twice for a day, just call it a day. And, you know, if you feel like you're not calm after a loss, take time out and finish for a day after a first trade. It all depends who you are. You know, there are no set rules for everyone. Personally, when I have a setup that was well planned and I followed my rules and the trade went against me, so I said, I'm going to get in here, I'm going to leave the trade here, and it went against me. Okay, happens. I cope with it easier with the loss because I know that I followed my plan. But if I make mistakes that I rush into a trade and I don't have a plan and it goes against me, and that's when I'm really upset with myself. And that's when my fear of losing kicks in, because I know I wasn't in control of my emotions. And that's a really sucky feeling. So I lost the money and I lost control over myself. And yeah, that's for me personally the worst.